Hi, and welcome to our second week of French online here at Boise State University. This week, we'll be talking about 3 different topics. First, we'll review tu and vous. Then, we'll talk about classroom objects and questions, and finally, indefinite articles. Let's start by reviewing. Last week, we talked about 2 different ways to say you in French. First, the formal, with vous, is used with social superiors, people you don't know, and groups of people. The informal, tu, is used with social equals, children, friends, animals, family members. And note that this is always plural. So if you're talking with a group of friends, and you're talking to all of them, you're going to use vous, even if individually you would speak with tu to them. For example, vous aimez le français, which asks, do you like French? This you is used for the formal. So for example, if I were speaking with Bob Custra, it's also used with the plural. So if I'm asking an entire class and I'm saying, do you guys like French? But the second question, tu aimes le français, is used with people who I'm familiar with and who are singular. The new topic for today is classroom objects and questions. Starting with our first question, qu'est-ce que c'est? You'll note that there are 3 possible answers. The first choice is c'est un. This is used when we have a masculine object. We can also answer with c'est une for feminine objects, or ce sont des with objects that are plural and either masculine or feminine. We're going to talk about what masculine and feminine means in just a minute, but to start with, let's just learn these. Qu'est-ce que c'est is asking, what is it? So some example answers would be, c'est un cahier, it's a notebook, or c'est une fenêtre, it's a window, or ce sont des livres. So if I ask this question, qu'est-ce que c'est, I'm asking, what is it? The answer would be, c'est un bureau. Qu'est-ce que c'est? C'est une fenêtre. Qu'est-ce que c'est? Ce sont des chaises. The next question we're going to learn is qui est? Qui est is asking, who is it? And to answer the question, it's very simply just c'est and then the name of a person. For example, qui est? C'est Bob Custra, le président de l'université. Qui est? C'est Hillary Clinton, le secrétaire de l'État. Qui est? C'est Hillary Clinton. Qui est? C'est Barack Obama. The third and final question we're going to talk about this week is est-ce que. Est-ce que isn't actually a question in and of itself. It means, is it? And you need a sentence in here to complete the question. The sentence will be something like we've just learned. For example, c'est une fenêtre, ce sont des chaises, or c'est Bob Custra. So, for example, I could ask, est-ce que c'est Bob Custra? Is it Bob Custra? Est-ce que c'est Hillary Clinton, le secrétaire de l'État? Is it Hillary Clinton, the Secretary of State? I don't have it written here, but I could certainly also ask about things the same way. My first question had answers such as, c'est un bureau, or c'est une fenêtre. The last example was, ce sont des chaises. I could ask, est-ce que ce sont des chaises? To ask, are they chairs? Or, est-ce que c'est une fenêtre? To ask if it is a window. So, est-ce que means, is it? And then you have to complete that with a sentence. This can either be a person, or asking about a person or a thing. My examples today are with people. Est-ce que c'est Harry Potter? Oui, c'est Harry Potter. Est-ce que c'est Angelina Jolie? No, c'est Brad Pitt. The third topic today is indefinite articles. In French, all nouns must be preceded by an article, which begs the question, first of all, what is a noun? And second of all, what is an article? A noun is a person, place, thing, or idea. For example, Joe, Boise, book, or happiness. Note that all nouns have gender in French. They're either masculine or feminine. In English, only people have gender, men and women, but in French, everything has gender. Windows, Kleenexes, pens, business cards, napkins, paper, all of it. You have to be able to remember the gender of all of the nouns in French. The best way to do this is to get your memorization cap on. The flashcards in our ebook will really help. So then the second question is, what is an article? An article is a short word that identifies the noun, in this case, in a general unspecified way, because we're talking about indefinite articles. In English, indefinite articles include a, an, and some. In English, we use the word a before a noun that starts with a consonant. A dog, a cat, a house. We use the word an in front of a word that starts with a vowel, an obstacle, or an article. The word some is used for nouns that are plural. Some cars, some flowers, etc. The thing that's important to remember is that the article in French must agree in number and in gender with the noun. So in other words, if you're talking about a desk, because the word desk is singular and masculine, your article must also be singular and masculine. If you're talking about a window, which is feminine, your article must also be singular and feminine. But if you're talking about some books, your article, like in English, must be plural. The indefinite articles in French are un for masculine and singular objects, une for feminine and singular objects, and des for plural objects. Let's look at some examples. Il y a un livre sur la table. There is a book on the table. Now, in this case, I know that un is masculine. So I know that livre is also masculine. There is a book on the table. C'est une feuille de papier. A feuille de papier is a piece of paper. Literally, the word feuille in French means a leaf. In English, we say a sheet of paper. In French, they say a leaf of paper. C'est une feuille de papier. I know that feuille de papier is feminine because I've used the feminine article une. My last example, il y a des étudiants dans la salle de classe. There are some students in the classroom. I know that students is plural, not only because of the S on the end, but because of my article des, which is plural. So, in this lesson, we've talked about three things. We've reviewed the difference between tu and vous. We've talked about three different questions to ask about objects and people in the classroom. And we've learned about indefinite articles and nouns with gender. This ends the lecture for this week. Please watch any portions that you didn't understand once again, then take the lecture quiz. Once you've completed the lecture quiz, the login link for our lab will be visible to you and you can log in. I'll see you then.